Hello and welcome to Looking Glass Letterbox, and this is the general reading for Pisces for December of 2019. Again, it is a general reading, so I know it's not going to connect for everyone out there, but hopefully there's something that's interesting or helpful that you can take with you throughout the end of the year that will be supportive or significant. If you like working with the seasonal influences, we just came out of Scorpio season, which for many of us brought to the surface things that we were avoiding, would have preferred not to have dealt with, that gave us anxiety and worry and dread in some instances. But they surfaced, and we were in the position of having to address those things. Oh, there. And then, as turbulent as that was for whoever experienced that as well, we've come through to the other side of that, and having to consider those things and address them and deal with them, we now can have a refreshed perspective and a bit of relief because we no longer have to carry the anxiety or the worry or the restrictive or inhibitive energy that generates into Sagittarius season with us. And Sagittarius, with Sagittarius comes the sun. The Sagittarius is lighter, it's aspirational, it's adventurous, it's open to new possibility and excited about what the future holds, new goals, new dream. Oh, got another one flipped over. All right, my goodness. Cards definitely want to speak to Pisces today. Okay, and so it's an excellent season to work with the energies that are available because they're exciting and enthusiastic and full of potential and full of what's new and hopeful. So if you're ready to engage with that, I'm right there with you as well. Also, I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who's taken the time to watch any of my videos over the course of the year. I started posting these videos in January to the channel, and I've had so much fun, and I found it so fulfilling, and I'm so excited and grateful to have a place to, put out there what I have to offer, and that there are people out there that are interested in it. So I am grateful for your time and attention. I realize that it is valuable, and I am very appreciative of that. So thank you so much. And on into 2020, we're closing out a decade. It's not just the end of the year, it's the end of a 10-year cycle, which is very exciting. And going into 2020, which has the potential to be very promising and a sort of, explosive and abundant in potential. So closing out 2019 in December, for Pisces, we have your treasure is at hand. And sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier, but more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those they've already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. Actually, zippier is on quite a few lists. Tally-ho, the universe. Okay, so your treasure is at hand. Look around, take stock, look over the past 10 years and over the past year. 2019 was a rough one for many of us out there. So if you were in that lot that had a lot of turbulence that sort of shook up your 2019, that you are not alone there. But now's the time, after coming through the experience of all that, to look to new horizons and to look to the future, but also to touch base and to really center on and consider and evaluate what you find valuable within yourself and what you have to offer, valuable in what you have to contribute to the community, and what you find value in outside of yourself, what you want to come into alignment with, is a big theme for the end of this year in preparation for a new decade and in preparation for a new year moving forward. So look around you for the treasure that's already surrounding you. There's no such thing as perfection. So if you are sort of stymied by your own need for perfection, if that's something that you struggle with. Right? There's no such thing as that. We're all striving to improve. We all want to get better. We all want to, achieve more or evolve. And that's a completely, very, very human response that's across the board for everyone in certain regards. So taking the moment to recognize what is around you that you want to make sure that you appreciate and that you acknowledge and that you want to bring with you moving ahead is significant in this last month of 2019. All right, and then this is the notes on, Universe has your back. My vibes speak louder than my words. All right, so Pisces, you have some energy vibes happening right now. You are glowing. You are radiating some kind of, glorious effervescence that sort of precedes you into the room, and that is going to attract attention and attract opportunity and connection, and a lot of possibility and potential is going to be magnetized towards you just with the energy that you're going to show up with. So check in with yourself and recognize and sort of decide what energy you want to embody. If you go in charged up with all kinds of sort of negative influences, restrictive influences, limiting influences, that's going to inform the circumstances that you're going to find yourself connecting with. But if you show up with refreshed, with a open perspective, an adventurous perspective of what is possible to connect with, and an aspirational or enthusiastic sort of glorious vibe, then that's going to be magnetized to you as well. So you're giving off whatever vibes you're giving off. Make sure those are the vibes that you want to generate and to show up with in whatever you're going to be doing in December, in this month. All right, and then at the end of November, some of you, end of November going into December, you're at a point of decision. You're at a point of rest, maybe a little bit of blocked vision. You may have some options open to you, and you're not sure which road you want to decide to take. You're not sure which option you want to choose. So you don't have to rush it at this point, because it looks like in the middle of December, there's going to be a lot of actions, a lot of activity happening all at once. And you see the lightning striking. So there's going to be some sort of catalyst event or information or connection that may help to influence the decision that you ultimately decide to embrace and move forward on. But right now, at the end of November, beginning of December, you're taking the time to consider your options and decide what you really think about that, and really decide on what perspective and perception you're going to move into that decision with, so that you can be sort of confident and empowered in that space. And then whatever catalyst, whatever activity is going to be amping up, the potential and the possibility for you, may help to ultimately inform the decision that you take. But you're going to be confident when that happens. You'll know it, you'll know it like that. And you can be confident and self-assured and empowered to move boldly in the direction that this inspires you to align with as well. And then at the end of the month, delightful 3 of coins. So that is the point of creation. That's, you gathering your resources. For somebody out there, something is going to happen that is going to catalyze the response to this decision. And then you're going to move quickly into gathering resources, gathering connections, networking, getting all of the material information and items and, significant building blocks to begin scaling this mountain that you're going to decide to discover, that you're going to decide to explore. And again, adventurous spirit of Sagittarius season is really going to support that decision and amp up the sort of the abundance of potential that's going to be available to fortify this endeavor. So that's very exciting. For some of you, this is a situation that you may be dealing with, and that is the 9 of Wands. So you've already been doing a lot of work, for whoever this is connecting with. You've already taken a lot of actions, taken the steps, gone through the stuff, learned the lessons, moved on from there, been through the adversity, come out the other side, gone the distance, and you might be feeling a little weary, a little guarded, a little bit worn out. And especially in response to where you're at now, taking a moment to pause and to reflect on the most efficient and effective and aligned decision to move you into this next stage of evolution, this next level of experience that you want to move into, or even a brand new level of experience that you want to move into. You may be feeling a little bit worn out and unprepared for whatever activity is going to be happening in December. This can also indicate travel as well. So this may be the problem within that situation. The Hermit, all right? So that reflects back on this choice that you're considering, the options you have available, and if you want to stay the course that you're already on, or if you want to open up a brand new road, a brand new adventure, that may be what's applying for you, but it is connected to the Hermit. So, or it could be a Virgo. Hermit is the card of Virgo. There may be a Virgo that concerns you in some aspect of this endeavor, or whatever this work is that you have been doing, or whatever you have been dealing with. But the Hermit is connected to your personal path, the path that you want to pave, the experience that you were put on the planet and, in the world to pave yourself. It's a very individual perspective of what you want to experience and create and connect with and align with, your inner spark that's unique to you, and in alignment with that. So you may have a little bit of a blocked vision. This can indicate a stalemate. You're not sure to go on your own path that lights that fire, that lights that inner spark of imagination and adventure and expedition within yourself, or maybe stay a previous course, or follow a course of action that was constructed for you but is not exactly in alignment with what you would really like to experience, and you're a little worn out from what you've already been doing. So to allow you to navigate this may help you, and that is the 5 of Wands. All right, so if the decision you take, the 5 of Wands is a point of adversity, but this isn't a throwdown conflict. This particular card is about taking what you've learned, the experience that you have, the skills that you've picked up along the way, and testing them out against other people that are sort of in the same level of experience as you, to see how it feels, to see how to navigate through, to make it through to the other side. So it's like an exhibition match, sort of. You're just sort of, finding your feet and spreading your wings and, stretching into the intricacy and the nuance of what it is that you have available to act upon, of what it is that you feel that you're capable of doing, and sort of pushing that to see how much further it can go and develop further to gain mastery. If you're feeling weary or worn out or a little defensive on the path that you've already been on, stepping into that new path that is alignment, that is significant and valuable to you, stretching out into that energy, walking along that path for a little while and checking, being curious and looking at, the options and the possibilities that are along that road that are going to help you to ultimately make this decision and be in a position to be prepared to take decisive action when that lightning strikes and when it's time to move. Sort of testing the waters a little bit on the path that you value, that ignites that spark of adventure and expansion within yourself. Okay, this is a very personal reading for whoever this is connecting with. All right, and then this is your animal spirit, the otter. All right, that comes into connection with this 5 of Wands, because it is like an exhibition match or a play fight, to find your feet and to get, to feel to sort of stretch into your ability. The Otter is the playful nature that is influenced within this particular card. So with the Otter as well, it's water, it's of your emotional significance. The Hermit is an earth energy, Virgo is an earth energy, so it's very grounded in and very solid and very dependable and steadfast sort of an energy. So this isn't a flippant decision that you're trying to make. This is a long game that you're deciding whether to engage with, because it's going to set up the next year and potentially the next 10 years of your experience. So at the moment and in December, you want to play a little bit and see how you feel about it, not just what you think about it. So the Otter is about unobstructed joy, playfulness, and contentment. So the Otter energy is full of love and it needs nothing. When it's out of balance, it's gloomy and full of sighs and makes silly excuses. So to tap into this is to play, emergency dance party, a water balloon fight, or a snowball fight, or just getting together with, people that you enjoy and that, spark the delight that you have in life, and just playing, just being silly. So because the Otter is the most joyful creature within the deck, it represents absolute bliss. So the playfulness of a child, and adapting that and using that at any age, a giddiness and a reverence for life. So this is with the absence of doubt, the absence of worry, the absence of skepticism. So imagine yourself with a little bit of that more energy. Employ that energy as you sort of check out this path that you really want to align with, that is very purposeful and significant to you as an individual as well. So the Otter asks questions, like, if you were more playful, if you did remove some of the doubt and the skepticism and the criticism that runs through your own mind when you're considering options, what would your life look like if there was no self-doubt, if there was no sort of self-limitation? What would it take to bring you to that point where you sort of stepped out of your own way and allowed yourself to move into experience? What would that look like? What would that feel like? And how do you get to that space so that you can really embrace that kind of an energy? And at the bottom of this line here, you have the Two of Cups, and that's coming into connection and reciprocity, deciding to make that connection, deciding to make that alignment that is emotionally significant and value and is also reciprocated. It's not that just that you're connecting something and giving and giving and giving and all it's doing is taking and taking and taking. It's a point of union and reciprocity. You are giving and you are partnered up with a circumstance or a person or a situation that gives you back just as much, and it's a cyclical connection, a unification of purpose. And that's amazing. And then at the bottom of this line, stepping on and sort of feeling out this personal path that you want to trek, that you want to carry out into the world after sort of coming through all of the experience that you have up to this point. You have the Ace of Pentacles, which is new opportunity for manifestation, new potential, initiation, new possibilities in your 3D world, in your 3D experience. So that's very exciting as well. And then this is your this is your Enchanted Map Oracle, and that is the Dragon's Lair. Okay. That's an interesting card. And Dragon's Lair is, you are always protected and divinely guided, is the quote that comes with this card. So this card signifies that you have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. So when you are sort of in a space like this where you're considering, two paths, do you take the road that you've been on and continue following through with that into perpetuity, or do you take the road less traveled, the road that is significant to you, that calls to you for expedition, exploration, and experience? So carefully being aware of your surroundings, and the details is significant when this card comes up. As much as you want to employ a spirit of adventure and playfulness and possibility while you're considering this decision, you also want to remain aware and attentive so that you can see red flags or pitfalls that may flare up along the way to interrupt that progression. So there's challenges that are going to be along both paths, either path that you choose, either decision that you take. For whoever this is connected, there's always going to be challenge, but with that challenge comes the potential for further success. That challenges are not meant to be avoided, they're meant to be engaged with so that you can learn from them, so that you can then graduate to higher experience and further mastery and new horizons. So avoiding challenge with whatever decision you take is not the point. The point is embracing the adventure and taking the successes and learning the things and moving through and appreciating the challenges that rise up for you to interact with, so that you can then gain further understanding and increased value and increased experience and, aspirational, is an aspirational sort of an energy. But that's also, exciting and exhilarating, and that may also be, enjoy the challenges that are along the way. If you're on a path and the challenges that you face leave you feeling depleted and drained and defeated, and they don't offer you any sort of sustenance or any sort of nourishment after having met the challenge and gone through it, and you sort of dread the next thing along the road, that's a sign that maybe you're out of alignment with what you would like to be doing, what you would like to be experiencing. So stepping onto a new path and a new adventure for new possibility, you may be able to engage with the challenges along that path with a lot more of enthusiasm and enjoyment and exhilaration. So that sort of an attitude about the challenges along the path is life changing. It's sort of a life changing shift of perspective. When you're embarking upon any new experience or old experience or whatever it is you're doing, it's endeavoring to live life fully, and embrace everything that comes along the way. New experience is calling to you with this. And the Dragon Slayer card indicates that, yes, new experience is calling to you, and it can be exhilarating and dangerous. It could be exhilarating because it's a little bit dangerous. But when you're on a path where you feel prepared to face the challenges that are coming up, and you feel confident that you're going to be able to navigate those challenges with effectiveness and come out the other side more experienced and victorious, or be able to recover from the defeat and get up and meet the challenge again until you are victorious, that's a big difference in your experience of life. If the successes that you have moving through challenges still leave you feeling defeated and still leave you feeling without, then something is out of alignment along that particular path for you. But when it makes you feel more invigorated, and more alive and more present and more aware, then that's a sign that something is in alignment with you. So that choice is yours. But this is indicating that, yes, there will be challenges, and there's greater value in risk taking than remaining unchallenged. But also being aware of the risk that it is that you are taking. So going blindly and ignorantly and sort of foolishly into an experience without any sort of preparation, that's very high risk, and maybe you want to take a beat to explore what it's going to entail to go along that path. So taking the time to consider the options and what's involved, and then when the moment comes to make the decision, if you feel prepared to step out onto that new path, that's going to serve you well. Preparation for a new adventure is very significant than blindly walking into it with no information or consideration whatsoever. The Dragon's Lair card is asking you to, yes, risk is worth taking. It is worth taking sometimes, but remember to prepare yourself in order to deal with that risk when the challenges sort of come up to meet you, so that you can move through them and come out the other side victorious. Wow. Okay, excellent, Pisces. I hope that connected with at least one of you, some of you. I hope that was helpful. I will see you guys in the 2020 yearly overviews. Those are going to be posted in December as well. I hope you have the most fantastic and wonderful and delightful winter holiday season. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.